Yesterday we began looking at some advice for various members of our physical families. Today we're going to pick up this study by looking at some advice that Solomon gives to parents. We begin in Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 7, where he says that a righteous man who walks in his integrity, how blessed are his sons after him. When one follows God as he ought to, not only will he be blessed, but his children will be blessed as well. First of all, as God delights in those who follow him, a secondary benefit is that the descendants of the righteous will be delivered. Second, the children of the righteous man are blessed in that they have his good example to follow. And then thirdly, the children of the righteous man are blessed because they are taught by him in the way that they should go. Solomon said, "Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old he will not depart from it," Proverbs 22 and verse 6. And while this statement is one that is generally true, certainly because man has free will, it is possible for parents to teach their children as they ought to, and then when their children have grown, they forsake the paths of righteousness. But generally speaking, when parents lead their children in the way of truth, they will continue in it in their adult life. So the influence of the parents is not limited to the home prior to the children reaching adulthood. Therefore, parents must seriously consider their responsibility in teaching their children, for foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child, but the rod of discipline will remove it far from him, Proverbs 22 and verse 15. Foolishness is used two different ways in the book of Proverbs. It can refer to the state of merely lacking knowledge, but it can also refer to the state of willful rejection of knowledge. This former is the type of foolishness in the heart of a child. A child simply lacks knowledge and needs to be taught. Part of this training involves discipline. And this is not referring to verbal reprimands, though there are times when verbal instruction is necessary, but it's talking about corporal punishment. Solomon makes this clear. He does not just mention discipline, but he mentions the rod of discipline. For he who withholds his rod hates his son, but he who loves him disciplines him diligently, Proverbs 13 and verse 24. Those who refuse to use corporal punishment in the discipline of children believe that they are doing so in love. Yet Solomon says that the one who withholds this discipline by failing to administer this type of discipline, he really is showing that he hates his child. Therefore, the one who loves his child is going to discipline his child diligently. The word translated diligently means to seek early or earnestly. And the point is that while parents must discipline their children in earnest, they must also do so in a timely fashion. This means that from an early age, parents ought to discipline their children appropriately, so that the children learn early in life that there are consequences for failing to obey. Solomon makes the statement in Proverbs 19 and verse 18, "To discipline your child while there is hope, and do not desire his death." Solomon says that discipline must be administered while there is hope. The implication is that the time may come when there is no hope, and the age in which a child's heart becomes hardened and unreceptive to the instruction of his parents will vary. So parents should discipline their children diligently, earnestly, and early, so that this point is never reached. The New American Standard Version says, "Do not desire his death." And this suggests that discipline must always be done in love as an effort to train a child, not as a reaction to anger. The King James Version is worded a little differently. "Let not thy soul spare for his crying." The type of discipline that Solomon refers to here, this corporal punishment, will often result in the child shedding tears. And parents should not allow this to deter them in their efforts to administer proper discipline. And Solomon explains this further in Proverbs 23, verses 13 through 14, where he says, "Do not hold back discipline from the child. Although you strike him with the rod, he will not die. You shall strike him with the rod and rescue his soul from hell." Friends, what we must understand is that as parents, we must administer discipline to our children when it is appropriate. As they grow older, they will come to appreciate the training that we have given to them, and it will bring delight to their souls. Friends, we want to thank you for joining us for our program today, and have a blessed day.